So as you probably know, yesterday KSI and Joe Fournier had their first ever press conference, and I'm not gonna lie, KSI seemed a little bit off. And I'm sure if you watch the press conference, you will completely agree with me. I mean, just look at him. He's not acting like KSI at all. I mean, you guys know how KSI is at press conferences. He usually has a lot of energy and is talking mad shit, but this time, he was just kinda there. And some would say he's even scared. Ooh. But anyways, the press conference was pretty interesting, I guess. I mean, Joe Fournier was really the only one going at KSI. KSI was kinda super calm and he seemed a bit tired, maybe a little sad, but yeah. I think at one point, Joe Fournier was asked why he's gonna beat KSI, and he pretty much said, like, he's never met anyone like him and that he has a lot of power, which, I mean, if you consider this power, then I guess you do, but David Haye also talked about how Joe is a really competitive fighter and that he has the will to win, that he's been boxing for years and has been able to compete with people who are way better than him, which could be true behind the scenes, but from the footage I've seen, it seems like every single person that Joe's fought in the ring, it's either like their first time boxing ever, or they just look like they have no idea what they're doing. And I'm not saying it's not true. Maybe Joe is fighting some really high level boxers behind the scenes, but I assume if you're training with all these like high level insane boxers, you wouldn't be fighting people who don't seem to know what they're doing. However, I don't want to make it seem like Joe is really bad at boxing. I do think he's probably more knowledgeable in boxing than KSI, which could be a huge advantage for him in the fight. Now in the press conference, KSI talked about how he took this fight to level up in opponents and to beat a pro boxer, which is something that Jake Paul wasn't able to do. Which, while it's technically true that Jake Paul hasn't fought a pro boxer, even though technically Anderson Silva was a pro boxer, this statement really irritates me because the difference between Joe and Tommy is massive. Like, look at this. Look at the comparison. It's not even close at all. Tommy would kill this guy in one round. I don't know, it just really bothers me that if KSI wins, he's gonna say he's better than Jake Paul because he's beat a pro boxer while Jake Paul couldn't, which is, I mean, there's levels to this game, and Tommy is levels above Joe Fournier, but because they're both pro boxers, I guess KSI beating Joe Fournier will be cooler. I don't know. But anyways, that was pretty much it for the Joe and KSI press conference. There really wasn't much. After the press conference, Joe shoved KSI, and KSI didn't do anything, which is obviously not what we expected at all. I feel like KSI normally wouldn't tolerate getting shoved like this, but I don't know, man. KSI was acting really weird throughout this whole press conference, and it seemed like he had no energy, which is not what we expect from KSI. Now, do I think he's scared of Joe? Probably not. I mean, it seemed like he had no confidence in this press conference, but it also might have to do with all the controversies he's been going through lately. Going from getting backlash for beefing with Wade and then getting backlash for saying a slur in the Sidemen video, it's been a really rough week for KSI. And maybe that's why he seems so tired and exhausted, and some people saw him as scared this press conference because he's been going through a lot recently and he had to literally take a break from Twitter, so it wouldn't shock me if that's the issue. But anyways, I'm making a video on Joe Fournier versus KSI soon, so if you want to see who I think is gonna win the fight, make sure to subscribe. If you guys want to talk to me about anything I talk about in these videos, make sure to go follow my kick. It will be in the comment section. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.